Good morning everyone. Today we are going to talk about how to get band 9 in IELTS writing task 1, which I believe a lot of people think writing in IELTS is the hardest part. But luckily, Cambridge has got a very standard way of correcting and grading us. So today I borrow the model answer from Cambridge assessment test to modify a little bit with the help of my fellow friend native speaker. Let's see how can we get band 9, and believe me, it's not that difficult. Alright, okay, let's look at the slide. Okay, to get band 9, you just follow the pattern that Cambridge gives. First of all, today I borrowed the graph, the question which has two graphs in one question. Okay, and today's question is the bar graph. Let's look at the question first. The charts below show the main reasons for study among students of different age groups and the amount of support they received from employers. Okay, this is the first part of the question. You will see that there are two graphs, so the question is divided into two parts. Okay, first of all, the first part, it says the charts below show the main reason for study among students of different age groups. Okay, let's look at the first chart. Different age groups here, under 26 to over 49, okay? And the amount of support they received from employers, which is going to be the graph down below. Okay, this is the employer support, also in different age groups. All right. Okay, this part, the second one, is important. Okay, let's look at it. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features. Okay, this point is really important because we cannot put everything into 150 words. So it's our duty to select the most important, yet cover all the points of the graphs. Okay, so selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. And do not forget to compare the data that is relevant. All right, and the next question to us after we read the question is how many paragraphs that we should write. Okay, first of all, we have to write an introduction, that is definite, and then the body, which how many bodies should you write depends on how complex the questions is. For example, in this one, we have two graphs in one question. Of course, at least we have to have two. But if the question is more complex, we can go three. Yeah, that would be okay. The point is that one paragraph need to compose of only one main idea, so it's not confusing for the reader. Okay, where's the conclusion? Okay, Cambridge stated very clearly that there is no need for conclusion in task 1 because conclusion will already be implied in the introduction in the second sentence. Okay, we will see after this what do I mean by that. Okay, then we know how many paragraphs we will write. We will not write a conclusion. Then let's get a hand dirty. Okay, introduction, writing the introduction. I put the model answer for you and highlight in the different colors so that we understand it in a very short time. Okay, the first sentence, the bar charts illustrate the reasons people study for and how much employers support them. This is very straightforward. The first sentence will tell the readers what happened and when does it happen. But in this case, we don't have the years that it's happening, so we don't put the year. We just put the what happened. Okay, it said the bar chart illustrate the reasons people study for, which is the first graph, right? And how much employers support them. That is the second graph. Very straightforward and very short because we only have about 150 words to write. Then the blue one, overall. Okay, I recommend this word because it's really helpful. When the readers read this word, they will see the importance of this word because if they don't have time and they only read this sentence, they will understand everything in the graphs. Okay, so overall, the young tend to study for career more than those in their late adulthood. You will see that here the young study more. You see the graph is higher than this one in Korea. Okay, which is the light bar. Additionally, people under 26 get more support in education. This one is the second graph, so they kind of like get the most important point from the second graph. People under 26 get more support in education. As you can see, the chart, the bar is the highest. Very straightforward introduction. Don't use a lot of time with this because we have 3 more bodies to tackle. Okay, the first graph, okay, this is body, the first body, which I call body 1. Okay, it's really important for you to give the overall picture of what you're writing to the reader so that they save time, they don't get confused. So the first one that I highlighted in yellow, it's called the topic sentence. The topic sentence is the main idea of the paragraph that you are writing. So to save time, the reader is just gonna read the first sentence of each paragraph so that they can understand the overall picture of everything. Okay, let's look at the topic sentence of the first body. The first graph shows that there is a gradual decrease in study for career with age. Okay, from this, I think we have that from this line. Because when people are under 26 here, they study for career in a very high percentage, 80%. And then this gradually declines by 10 to 20% every 10 years of age. Okay, and then you can see the graph is declining as resulting in only 18%. Here is the 18% of over 49-year-old study for career in late adulthood. See, we don't talk about every of the graph. We only talk about the point that is really standing out. Okay, and then we haven't finished the first graph yet because we have this graph that we haven't talked about. Conversely, okay, as you can see, I put the rectangle, the red one, around some of the words, and this are called transition words. What is a transition word? The transition words is the word that will give a clue to the reader. What do we mean by, for example, conversely? If the word conversely is there, you will know that it is opposite to the information that been given before. Okay, and if the transition word is noticeably, it means that you have to pay special attention to whatever that is followed because it's very important that you should notice it. Okay, the red, the yellow highlight is the topic sentence as we mentioned before. Conversely, the first graph also shows that studies stemming from interest increase with age. Okay, you can see as I just drew the blue line here, it is increasing with age. Okay, then the detail follow. There are only 10% of under 26-year-olds study out of interest. You can see that only about 10% study for interest. The percentage rises slowly until the beginning of the 4th decade and increase dramatically in late adulthood, which makes 70%. You can see that the writer divided into 2 parts. This one is increasing only gradually, but this one is a dramatic jump. The increases dramatically part here. Okay, and noticeably, nearly the same number of 40 to 49-year-olds study for career and interest. Okay, this part that they mentioned in the last sentence, it said that, nearly the same number of this age group study for career and interest. Okay, you can mark the very important point that you want to represent to the reader, just like this. And then move on to the next graph. So we're starting with the body number 3. Of course, the first sentence is the topic sentence. The second graph informs the employer support is maximum. Okay, maximum for the under 26-year-old students, which is here. And they are given the information in the parentheses, 60%. However, here comes the transition again. Okay, this is very high, and then however, the reader can assume it's going to be very low because it's some kind of like opposite information when you see however. It drops rapidly to 32% for those aged in their 30s. Here, 30s. To 32% here. And then increases again in late adulthood. Increases again. Up to 44% here, 44%. See, we do not talk about every single information, but we're just gonna raise the very important ones. And the last sentence, it is unclear whether employer support is only for career-focused study because it doesn't say in the graph. But the highest level is for those who mainly study for career purposes, which you will see the linkage between this. Highest support for people under 26. So we look up to the first graph. This one is also the highest percentage in studying for career too. So this is really straightforward. To summarize for you guys, first of all, we have to think about how many paragraphs that we are going to put in our essay. Introduction, the second sentence, the last sentence, it will be easy for the readers if you put the overall trend for them so that they know what to focus. And if they don't have time, they can only read this sentence to understand everything. Okay, and the body, everybody, it's gonna be a good idea if you starting the body with the topic sentence, which is the main idea of the paragraph that you are trying to inform the data to the readers. And also don't forget to paraphrase some of the vocabularies. For example, you won't use the word decrease all the time. Sometimes you may be using decrease, decline, or reduce to give some range of vocabularies to show the examiner that you have some range of vocabulary in your mind and you can express it. Yeah, I think that's it for you guys to be able to get band 9 in IELTS Writing Task 1. Okay, if you feel this is really useful for you, don't forget to subscribe and we will have more of the information, of the knowledge like this for you in the future. Thank you for today. Bye.